Uh, what I do for the Dallas Mavericks is advanced scout. As advanced scout, my responsibility is to go watch the upcoming opponents live, which means that I travel to watch our opponents play live. And then after the game, I have to go type up a scouting report for our coaches and players and email it in, and then I keep it moving. So I'm constantly on the go because I'm in advanced scout. I have to scout in advance, and that means when I'm scouting, I'm watching the opponents, their play calls, so I have to listen, their hand signals, so I have to be visible and see everything that's going on, and I have to pay attention. And you've heard all those terms before. Listen, pay attention, focus. That's what I have to do to be successful at my job. My history, first of all, I am originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was also a student athlete. And I had some challenges growing up as far as math is concerned. My strongest subject was English, and I guess social studies was second. But then there was that math where I struggled. But the one thing about it is I had people behind me that pushed me to work harder at it. Because sometimes when you're good at something, um, you tend to sway toward that. And when you're bad at something, you try to run from it. Well, when you're not as good at one thing or a subject or a job or whatever, that means you have to work a little bit harder at it. Therefore, that's what I had to do. I worked harder at becoming a better math student. And the other thing is, it's okay to ask questions. And that's one thing that I think some of you are afraid to do sometimes because you don't want to seem not so smart. I don't want to use that other D word. But um, asking questions and surrounding yourself around people that are a little bit more intelligent or that can help you is a good way to be better at math or whatever subject that you struggle with. First of all, you're not a failure. Your successes and failures are not determined by anyone else, they're determined by you. But as long as you believe that you're a failure, you're probably going to be a failure. But if you believe that you are going to be successful, that you're going to do well, that you're going to be smarter, that you're going to make a better effort, then you will. Uh, I don't believe in accepting failure. It's just a roadblock. You fell down. So what? Get up, keep fighting, keep scrapping, and figure out a way. And again, ask questions on how you can be better, what you can do to prepare better, to do better on whatever it is that you didn't do so well at. Um, I I I had that issue before too when I was your age. Again, going back to algebra. Algebra was my weakest subject, and I struggled. But again, I had to get in my mind that this was not going to conquer me. I am better than this, and I can do this. And the more effort I put into it, the better I got. And the better you get, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more successful you become. What I know now that I wish that I knew then was that I'm really a smart guy. I'm smarter than I gave myself credit for. Um, I had more access to people and things than I really knew. And if I had just taken full advantage of my teachers, my counselors, my my peers that were really good at a particular subject, had I just joined with them and not compared myself to them, they could have helped me. So I encourage you, again, ask questions. Talk to people, because and you've probably heard this before, because I hear it all the time. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So ask questions and talk to people. When I was a child, I grew up in a single parent household. So I can relate to a lot of you and a lot of what you're going through. My mom raised two boys, myself and my brother, and we struggled. And I can remember from a very young age to even up to high school, where my mother had to work a full-time job and sometimes 1 to 2 part-time jobs just to make ends meet. But she always emphasized education. And I'm telling you, I am living proof that your background, your economic circumstances, your surroundings do not determine your success. You determine it. You determine it. Do not let anything stop you from being the best that you can be. I'm telling you, I promise you, I was in your shoes. I was that young man that didn't have all the fancy clothes and the fancy shoes and that everybody else had. But I didn't worry about those things because I knew what I did have. I had love at home. I had a desire, a strong desire to be successful at everything that I put my hands on. And a mother that was willing to sacrifice everything for us to be successful. And I am living proof that coming from a single parent household uh, does not determine that you're going to be a failure in life. And in fact, it propelled me to be better and do better. And here I am now, 22 years working for the Dallas Mavericks. 22 years with the same organization because of my efforts, my support group, my mentors, my family, and my deep desire to be better than my environment. I want to share a quote that I keep with me all the time, and I heard it as a young person, and I always look back on it when I'm struggling a little bit, and that quote is, "Your life is a reflection of the way you think. What you believe is what you become." So, Duncanville ISD students, this is for you. You can do this. You have everything it takes to be successful. You have everything it takes to conquer these math exams or whatever it is that stands in your way of success. So, Duncanville, you can do this. Go Panthers.